Toothache can be defined as pain coming from either the tooth or the surrounding structures. That means the tooth or the supporting structures of the tooth to the gum. So you come from the tooth, the supporting structures, or even the gum, but now presents as a toothache.
Okay, so now we understand the fact that something has to cause something to happen.
Yes.
So, what are the causes of toothache?
There are quite a number, but I mentioned a few. One of the major causes of toothache is we have tooth decay. Then we have a cavity in the tooth, and it has progressed into the dentin and, in some cases, into the pulp. When there's a cavity and it's in the enamel, you're not likely to have any pain. But once it progresses from the enamel into the dentin, it presents as pain. Some would describe it as pain. Some would describe it as shocking sensation, the sensitivity. And by the time it gets into the pulp, it becomes clear that it is pain. Then you could have pain from a tooth that's been restored. That means a decayed tooth that was filled before, but the filling has fallen off. It could present as a toothache. When there is trauma, then more like an injury to the mouth, it could present as toothache, in which case you find that the tooth is displaced. We call it luxation. It could be forward, inward, anyhow. It will present as toothache. A tooth that suddenly fractures, maybe due to trauma or injury, would also present as toothache. A tooth that has become loose in the socket will present as toothache. There are cases where we have impacted teeth or tooth, as the case may be. That's a tooth that has refused to erupt into the mouth. In such cases, it applies more to the wisdom tooth, the last tooth in the lower jaw. It will give serious pain. Then when such a tooth is trying to erupt, there's some kind of pain associated with it also. We call it pericoronitis. That means pain around the gum, pain from the gum surrounding the neck or head of that coronal. That's the head or neck of the tooth. Do you understand? It could also cause some amount of pain.
Okay, now for those who probably have this issue with their mouth or their teeth, they should know what the symptoms are.
Yes.
So that they know. It's more like if someone is going to have a problem, or if the problem is going to come up, he should know what the symptoms are. So at this point, I want you to tell us what the symptoms of toothache are.
Okay, toothache could present in different ways. The basic thing is there is pain, and the pain presents in different ways. You could have, it could be sharp, very sharp pain, as in the patient will tell you that it comes as if the person is being pricked by a needle or something, very sharp. It could be throbbing, more like what you have when you have like a whitlow or a ball. Do you understand? It comes as that. The pain could be continuous. It could be intermittent. That means you have it now, then after a while it gives you some pain. The duration, the interval between duration of pain could even be like a month, even more. You tell the last time I felt this pain was like 3 months ago before presenting again. Also, the pain could be spontaneous. That means when something comes in contact with the tooth, that's when the pain starts. At times, it is, spontaneous, that means nothing comes in contact, it just starts on its own like that. Some, there has to be pressure, maybe mastication, that's when you're chewing the food. And for mastication, some, the pain disturbs the chewing, you can't even chew. Some chew, but because there's a cavity or something, then the pain starts after chewing. Then those people that have spaces in between their teeth, we call it periodontal pocket, they don't have a hole. Or when they come to the clinic, they'll tell I have a hole in between my teeth. They are not really holes, they're just spaces because the gum has been destroyed in such areas. So you have what we call periodontal pockets. Do you understand? When food, after eating, when food lodges inside there, it triggers pain also. So there are different presentation of the pain.
Okay, now let us look at that's what some laymen would or humans would want to say that whatever happens to the mouth invariably happens to the hair, you know, the nostrils and all that. But I don't know if that notion is correct. In other words, I want to ask, can toothache give you hairache or even a headache?
In most cases, when the pain has really become bad, one of the presentation is earache and headache. They will tell you that the pain, I have headache when the pain starts. I start having headache, I start having earache. Some will tell you I have an eye ache. There is a connection in the nerve supply in these regions.
Okay.
So pain from the mouth would normally radiate, or we can say, as I should say, with earache. Another thing is, even earache on its own could present as toothache, in which case, after all the investigation and every given that the patient doesn't have any problem with the tooth or teeth, in that kind of situation, refer the patient to the ENT doctor. Do you understand? And even at times, sinusitis could present as toothache. In such cases, we refer the patient to the ENT. So even headache, they come and present that you have this headache, and you think by the time you manage, you find out that once the pain is taken care of from the mouth, the headache would stop, except in some few cases where the headache is not really from the tooth.
Okay, now let us look at someone who has this problem. There has to be a way to go about it.
Yeah.
So, because what we believe is the fact that for every problem, there's always a solution, which actually I want to get premise from bringing treatment into this now. What is the treatment of toothache?
Treatment for toothache will depend on the cause of the toothache. If it's a cavity, a decayed tooth, then you think of different treatment plan. If the tooth that can be restored with just feeding, you fill the tooth. There are other treatments like root canal treatments, and at times you may have to extract the tooth. When you've checked all possibilities, all treatment options, and the last option, but the only option you have is to remove, you remove. At times, scaling and polishing takes care of it. That's general cleaning of the mouth takes care of it. Medication alone at times takes care of it. Salting warm water at times, most often, works for toothache. At least it gives some relief before the patient presents in the dental clinic. With a fractured tooth, the treatment is different from a decayed tooth. So there are different treatment options depending on the cause of the tooth.
Okay, this is more like a follow-up. You mentioned in your response now that in a case where maybe it is becoming so worse and you have to remove. Some people, some persons also have this notion that you don't remove it because if you do, that's the beginning of you start removing every one. So,
it's not true.
Okay.
It's not true. There are a lot of people that have removed one and they've never removed any since then. If it's an accident, a trauma case that costs a fracture and the tooth has to be removed, except the person keeps falling down. You don't have a reason to remove anymore. But if
what about in the case of decay?
Decay, I was coming to that. If it's a case of decay and the patient does not improve on personal oral health, the person is prone to cavity, the person will continue to come. And in fact, in most cases, patients prone to cavities don't even present in the clinic until it is very bad, in which case you'd have to remove. Even when they come and you advise them that I've noticed some other cavities you have that we can still restore so you don't remove, or there's this other treatment you should do so you don't remove. Find out most of them will abscond. The next time you see them, maybe there's an abscess, do you understand? There's a swelling with pus, or maybe the tooth is really bad, the pain is on, you can't think, or the tooth is badly worn down and you can't think of restoring it. In such a case, you don't have an option then to remove. So patients that keep removing are patients that don't comply with dental advice.
Okay, now let's look at, for some of us who have never had this issue before, how do we prevent it from coming?
For everybody, the first thing is maintain good oral hygiene. That's in brushing twice every day with toothpaste that has fluoride. We don't give names of toothpaste. What we advise patients is get to a pharmacy or a good shop, check the toothpaste and be sure it has fluoride. Once it has fluoride, you can be sure it will prevent tooth decay, which is the reason why most patients present with toothache. Then after brushing, we normally advise patients to floss. Flossing removes food debris in between the teeth. There are some parts that the toothbrush would not go into, but your floss gets all those things out. That's personal hygiene. Then if there's any problem, don't wait till it gets out of hand. Present in the dental clinic as soon as possible. There are cases where patients go and you're advised to come back for further management. We find that most patients don't even come back. So in such a case, do you understand? Patients continue to have problems. So to prevent it, keep up with dental appointments. Then if you have any challenge, if there's a restoration that fails, report immediately. Don't get discouraged that I've done it before and it has also. No, report back to your dentist. Avoid the use of toothpick. It destroys the gum. Instead of toothpicking, we prefer patients using dental floss. Reduce the intake of sugar and sugary foods and drinks. Do not stop. Especially for children, you can't tell them to stop. But monitor and reduce it. And if they eat it, make sure they brush as soon as possible. If they're in a place where they can't brush, make sure they rinse their mouth with water very well. Then, for alcoholics, we tell them to reduce it. Smoking, we tell them to reduce. Then we also tell people that the brushing technique of a lot of people also lead to their dental problems. So once they come, we teach them on proper brushing technique so they don't destroy their teeth. Even in the process of trying to clean the teeth, they could also destroy their teeth. Then in regular visits, we advise patients to see us at least twice in a year. That's every six months for checkup and routine cleaning. A lot of people keep up with this, and I can assure you, they hardly come down with pain. You just see them walking to the clinic, I come for my checkup and for cleaning. That's any pain, any discomfort, not again time.
Alright, at this point, I want to call you today on today's interview. Thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure.